As far as we can see, the only downside about tabletop, board and card games is the fact that you need to have a tabletop to play them. Thankfully, we live in the future, where digital versions of these games can be played on your iPhone, iPad and Android devices. So, continuing our partnership with Asmodee, we bring you the 5 best card games for iPhone and iPad. Where most of the other games on this list have some kind of fantasy trappings, Star Realms takes it in a different direction. The game is set in deep space and sees you building an armada of ships in order to defeat opponents. Of course, the ships are represented by cards. There's a deep single-player campaign and some really slick multiplayer action as well. If swords and sorcery aren't really your thing, then you'll probably love the lasers and rockets on display here. Probably the most famous card game of them all, Magic: The Gathering. This mobile version, Magic Duels, is regularly updated and features the same classic gameplay you'd find if you were shuffling up your own decks in the real world. It can be a bit daunting to play the game on your own with a set of cards, so this is a brilliant way to jump into the universe and get to grips with the basics. This version is definitely the best one Wizards has released and a wonderful way to get acquainted with the world's favourite card game. Card Thief is a little different from the others. It's a solitaire game that sees you trying to break into a dungeon and make it out with all the loot. It builds on the original card crawl mechanic brilliantly, adding new twists to the formula as it goes. What's more, it manages to do mobile stealth better than a lot of games that are actually about stealth. It's dark and broody and gorgeous looking, and if you haven't played it yet, then you should definitely give it a go. The Pokemon trading card game is based on a real-life CCG that many people play. And perhaps more importantly, it's chock full of lovely Pokemon. It's not as well put together as something like Magic: The Gathering, but it follows a similar pattern. Build up your deck and take on all enemies. There's also a ridiculous amount of depth here, and while it is designed to appeal to younger gamers, anyone with a penchant for card games is probably going to really like everything that Pokemon TCG has to offer. Yes, alright, it's obvious, but you couldn't really write a list about card games without including Blizzard's massive smash, Hearthstone. It's set in the World of Warcraft universe, and it sees you throwing down cards based on characters from Blizzard's smash hit RTS and MMO series. It looks beautiful, it's slicker than most of the things you've ever played. You build decks based on classes from WoW, take part in a massive variety of events, and get to grips with regular updates. If you're looking for the most popular and most populated CCG community, Hearthstone is probably the place to start.